As you know, this is a continuing dialogue on advancing the energy transition to reach net zero goals by 2050. As Salima said, I'm Joan Michelson, your MC for the session. I'm the host of Electric Ladies podcast, where I speak with women innovators in energy, sustainability, and climate. I also write on these issues in Forbes and other media and do related consulting. Today, we are talking about accelerating the clean energy transition, including government policy, lowering costs, and decarbonization. Our first session this morning is on the energy transition itself and the necessity of both energy storage and grid technologies. And I'll toss a few other comments in related to ESG as we chat.
About Schneider, to dive into this too, we're a technology leader in electrification and digital solutions, providing that resilient infrastructure and software for buildings, factories, homes, and airports, and all types of critical infrastructure. And so with that, we've taken a lot of our core strengths around secure power and critical power and electrical distribution and really the metering and power digitization elements and pulled that into our core competency around microgrids. And so what a microgrid is really it's a power plant behind the meter, meaning that it can work also in conjunction with the grid in a grid tied fashion, but it can also, as the time when the grid is no longer available, create its own power supply behind the grid.
We're a global trade association representing the entire ecosystem of all industries, customers, equipment manufacturers, and technologies, promoting the diversity of the four families of long duration storage. So 8 hour plus and thermal, which is the rocks, the salts, the mechanical, which is the gravity. You've got the in pumped hydro, you've got the electrochemical, all the elements on the periodic table, and then chemical hydrogen. And so we really work to create and open up markets. It's a $4 trillion global market for long duration energy storage, and we're looking for 8 terawatts by 2040. And what's so critical is that today in Europe, the markets are already working for thermal energy storage, and they're cost competitive with gas plants today, and they don't need a subsidy. This is really important just to show that with the right market criteria, you can have long duration energy storage provide value. In addition, many island nations who use diesel generators, the fuel is really expensive and there's security concerns. And so long duration energy storage can replace backup diesel generators in many communities around the world at cost-effective price competitiveness today.
The thing that I'm hopeful about right now is actually, oddly, an opportunity to restructure the narrative, to talk about this transition as something that is necessary for us, not just to be clean, but to modernize our economy and to address a lot of, if this incoming administration is interested in domestic energy supply and energy security and energy abundance, this is how we do it, right?
Hydrogen is the molecule that connects everything, because you can take electricity and basically transform it into a fuel, and maybe you add some recycled or captured carbon and it becomes an electrofuel, and you could use that to decarbonize transportation or industry or chemical production.
A keystone component. Storage and grids really working together are such a, the element that can't be missed. It's so critical. As I really like to say, is keystone to the next phase. And what's really important is that it's bankable. And there are products in the market today, but what we really need to do is work on scaling this, keeping momentum going, and really bringing more benefit and more access for these diverse projects and innovative technologies to really scale.
One kind of story that brings it home for me is that we need to think differently each time we come up against one of these crises, and not just go to what we've always done, right? So one example of that is Schneider Electric works with a company called Footprint Project, and they go into disaster-ridden areas and bring renewable energy to them to help them through their times of recovery. So where in the past, what we do is go out and buy a bunch of diesel generators and go flood the area that's been just hit by, hurricanes, whether it be Hurricane Helene or Beryl or, the wildfires, but bringing in now clean energy storage into those spaces and clean energy through solar power and mobile battery storage to them to have a new way to come out of the disaster is just like one example to me of like thinking differently and not doing it the same way we've always approached